Hello and good morning. Today I would like to talk about Dracunculus vulgaris or dragon arum. This is a Mediterranean plant and it's member of the Araceae family, so it's an aroid. It is now flowering here at the Plant Protection Institute. This plant was planted because I had a research project, and this plant is the untreated control. First, I would like to point out that this plant has these wonderful decorative leaves, and sometimes the leaves have these white markings, and of course the huge inflorescence, which is longer than a foot. And this is the spade. It's all inflorescences in the Araceae family. It has the same build, and this is the spade, and this is the spadix. It's inside this trap, this bulbous part, which I will going to open up, and this part is an appendix, and it makes these horrible smells because this plant, when it's open, it smells like dead animals, carrions. So it's pollinated by carrion flies, and this part, which makes this horrible smell, also heats up, and this plant only flowers for about a day or two. So this is the second day of the flowering, and I use this scalpel blade to cut this inflorescence up. So here the flies go inside of the inflorescence, and I'm just going to cut it open for you. It just takes a little time, but bear with me. And this plant and all Araceae, which are native in Europe or the Mediterranean, is going to go dormant soon after flowering. So I just open this up, and there you can see the male flowers. These are the pollen, which generates pollen, and these are the female flowers, and these are also appendages which usually help to keep in the flies, but not in this case. And this is the spadix, and this is actually the key to distinguish between species in the family Araceae. And I really like this flower, and I really wanted to have this flower for a long time, but and I kept it a couple of times, and now I can tell you how to keep it alive. So this plant is native in the Mediterranean, in Italy and Greece, and in Turkey, the western part of Turkey. Usually the plants which are in the trade come from Turkey. Either they dug up from the wild with permits or from a cultivated stock. And you have to plant also the tubers of this plant vertically, otherwise it's getting very prone to rot, and it will succumb to root diseases, tuber rot, and etc. So what I wanted to say is this plant needs total drought when it goes dormant, and the soil what I use here is 50% core and 50% horticultural perlite, and you can see already that the shoots which are not flowering and the lower leaves are going dormant. This is quite normal for this plant, and after 2 weeks, when the flowering finished, the plant is going to go totally dormant. One exception is when the female flowers get pollinated, they turn to green berries, they look like a green corn knob, and all the leaves go dormant, but the stem remains. And when they start to ripe, the berries start to turn to orange and then red, and then they disperse by animals and birds. So this plant smells very, very, very bad. So I wouldn't plant this plant near to houses, or I wouldn't keep it as a house plant because it does really smell very bad. And I said the carrion flies pollinate it, and when the flies go inside, they get trapped, and the pollen is shedded on them during the night when the female flowers are no longer receptible, and then they fly out and they carry on carrying on being a carrion fly. So yeah, that's it. But I really like the impressive inflorescence, and the spathe is very, very nice. I like it so much, and it's huge. So it's like 50 centimeters or more. It's about 1.5 foot, so it's big, and I like it. But it only blooms once a year, and only for 2 maximum of 3 days. So thank you very much for your attention. If you like this content, you can subscribe and ring the bell to get notified by my new uploads. And you can also comment on my videos, and we'll see each other next time on my next upload. Thank you, goodbye.